We are back this week with another episode of Motorsport Minute. Unfortunately, we probably aren't going to talk about motorsport things this week. I'm meeting up with my friend Jason Didis. He is the creator of MYMY Sauce. So we're going to dive into his world on how he started it, where he's taking it. I'll put all of his information down in the description as well as mine. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks, everybody. I think it's worthy. Your MYMY Sauce has come a long ways, and your social media end of it is growing like wildfire, I would say.
Yeah. So, first off, thank you. Thanks for having me on. You know,
Yeah.
Awesome opportunity to share across different networks and stuff. But definitely have had a big uptick with the whole my hot sauce business in the last probably like 4 months. So it's been really good. Probably up close to over 500 followers in the last couple of months, putting me at about 2,500. So I got a fan base, I got a market, and things are chugging along just fine and dandy now. So yeah, I
Yeah.
can't complain much about it.
Well, not only for my listeners, but probably for yours, because I'm assuming they might watch this. I don't know if everyone knows the story, and I don't even know if I know it. And I worked with you for quite a few years. I worked with you while you were starting, kind of started the thought of this. Why? Why did you start? What got you into it?
So it all started out. I remember it's probably a little over 3 years ago. We did a family get together for one of the holidays, Easter or Christmas or something. And my brother wanted me to try some kombucha or something. And I was like, "How are you doing this?" He's like, "Oh, you just ferment this stuff and it makes kombucha." And I was like, "Okay." I started looking into fermenting and it was like, "Oh, you can make sauerkraut." I like sauerkraut. So I started off by fermenting sauerkraut. And then was like, "Well, hot sauce is fermented. Duh. I like hot sauce." So way back in the day, our old boss brought in some hot sauces that had carrot in it. And for
Okay.
some odd reason, I decided to make a hot sauce with the carrot as the base, and ended up doing. It was about 18 months by the time that I got to the final recipe that I'm on right now. So I'd make a batch and it would ferment for like a month, and I'd process it and I'd bring it to the guys at work. I was like, we gotta do this, we gotta do this. I was like, okay, okay. And after about 18 months, I kind of landed on something, and we were eating it so fast at work that I decided to do a pretty decent sized batch at the time, right?
Right.
So I was doing it in like mason jars, and I'd make, I don't know, like 4, 5, 8 ounce bottles,
Sure.
And he's like, okay, this is something here. I was on to what is now the final recipe, and basically I made a batch that was like a gallon or something like that, and
Yeah.
then that in like 3 gallons of sauce total after I processed it. And I was like, well, shit, I got so much hot sauce right now that I don't even know.
Right.
And up making a post on Facebook, and a friend's like, I want to try that. Shout out to Michael Myers. All right. He's like, I try that. And I was like, okay, I'll come drop some off. So drops him off at work. He's like, dude, you gotta start selling this. I'm like, well, let me go to the store. I bought some bottles, bottled everything up, and I said, I got like 30 of these bottles. Who wants to try some of this?
Hmm.
And one person bought it, and they're like, hey, this is good. And then a couple other people bought it. And by then I sold like 50 bottles. It's like, okay, well, let me do it. Then it was gone. So I had to
Right.
make another. Like, well, maybe I got to do maybe a little bit bigger one. And just started growing and growing and growing. And I went from selling like 10 bottles to 50 bottles to 60 bottles. And, the snowball continues. And since November now, since November of 2022 to right now, I've done 1,800 bottles.
Oh wow.
So in the last 16 months, I've done 1,800 bottles. So it's big. I got a
Yeah.
great. The community saved me during a tough time. Was just kind of going through it, and they helped me out financially and got me back on my feet. And everything scaled really quickly.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of the story of how that started out. And now I'm in my own shop. Uh, Funded the equipment to make bigger and better batches, and hopefully, I'm going to get into stores soon. That's the plan, but it's kind of a time thing too,
Right.
because before I scaled everything up, I used to like hand pour bottles, like 400, 500 bottles
Oof.
out of like a 1 gallon container. And then
Right.
I upgraded. I put a spout on a 5 gallon bucket, and I was using like a spout to fill. And I was like,
Right.
wow, this. And then I was spending literally like 18 hours, trying to process and bottle sauce. And it was like, I can't sustain this, you
Right.
know? And kind of fell off. It just burnt me out a lot. And then now is the I like doing it because I like the people and I like
Right.
the interaction, social media, and all that stuff to it. And
Right.
full-time job. I'm in the military in the National Guard. That takes time. I got a family. That takes time. So the goal was for it to be another job.
Right.
But now with the support and everything that I've gotten, it's like a hobby. It's a fun hobby. I can process orders when I got the time. It doesn't take a lot. I got a great bunch of friends that help me do the work and process and everything. And yeah, I can't really complain about it. We got a good thing going, and
Yeah.
again, thanks for all. Thanks for letting me come on and kind of share my story.
Yeah. A precursor to kind of you talked on it a little bit. You used to bring sauce to work. So during this period, I worked with Jason, and there was, I don't know if it was a fad, what it was, but I'm sure you remember we went through the fad of like trying all the hottest hot sauces we
Oh,
could.
right, because we had the manager had this subscription to the
Yes.
hot, and he got all the like not average person hot sauces.
No, that
Like,
one that ruined us, I think, was 11 million Scovilles or something.
yeah,
It was,
so that's one of those lessons you got to kind of learn about yourself. Some people they got difference, and mine's okay for a guy that sells hot sauce. I
yeah.
can get down with some hot stuff, but I'll go to Walmart and I'll buy jalapenos, and one day I'm like, geez, these things is wild,
Yeah, right.
and that's not even on the same spectrum. Like,
No.
these aren't made for people that want to have flavor. That's made for people that want to feel pain.
Yeah, we kind of had to train ourselves there for a few weeks because we were trying them as he brought them in hotter and hotter, and we ate a gallon of salsa in a day. I mean, we were on some record burning stuff there.
Yeah, we were trying to gain a tolerance. I remember, but then that one day, and I still got this. Like, I can eat it, I can handle it in my mouth,
Yeah,
not in the stomach.
yeah.
So that last day, me and Mitchell were finishing off our tolerance test.
A one
Tape,
spoonful.
and there was a little bit extra, and I said, I'll just hit her. And that day, I was driving the carpool, and I mean, we were like 2 miles out of Mandan, and I was sweating. Everybody's in the back carrying on, having a good time playing games against each other, and I'm white knuckling it, trying on the floorboards of my truck. I got sweat dripping down, and I didn't even the parking lot. I stopped at the gas station, and I couldn't even barely say anything. I said, I gotta go here. And I just got out of the truck, man, and it was out both ends, but it is. That's it. There's a disclaimer on those really hot sauces, but I mean, you gotta take heed to those things, man.
Yeah. So as far as your sauce, do you have to deal with like Oh, what would be it? What would be the like not Custer Health, but is there any sort of permitting you have to do?
So, well, basically, I'm operating under what's cottage law, right? So, I sell out of my own facility, and I do sales to people around locally and stuff. And if you're not local, maybe you got a friend or somebody that's around, and we
Right.
can get it. Yeah. But that's pretty much how that works. It's kind of a way that the government neuters you from selling, and basically, I'm planning. I was in a commercial kitchen, and it was expensive, and it was disgusting. It was a kitchen that was available for rent, and that was really when I was selling a lot. But the facility was poor. I'd go there. It was in the bottom of a school, right?
Oh,
Like like I'd come to process sauce, and the sinks would be like full of paintbrushes, and the fridges would have like old lunch in it and stuff. And then along with, like I said, back then I was working so long, like it sucks to work like 18 hours and like be in the dungeon of a school, right?
yeah.
Like it's not cool. And then eventually I was like, this isn't quite worth it to me. Like it was good for the people that were buying it because it was getting
Right.
out, but it wasn't paying off. So
Right.
then it kind of back on, like, my equipment couldn't really sustain the volume and stuff, and that's kind of why I backpedaled to that. And I got out of it, and I kind of chilled out. And like I said, I just kind of needed to do a little bit of a reset. So I'm doing the whole cottage law sales, and locals come and pick up, or I meet people all the time, and that's kind of how I get it out and about.
Right.
And book group, if you just reach out to me, MyMy Sauce fan page, the MyMy Sauce fan page on Facebook, of course. MYMY Sauce fan page. It's got the logo on it. You'll see the big carrot. It'll be obvious. But you get on there, join the group, and send me a message, and we'll figure out a way to get it to you if you're willing to try. You know, there's always people around traveling. I travel to Minot. I travel around for work all over the place. Not my normal job, but other jobs. So I get around, and I make a pretty good effort to get it out to people because that's how we grow it. So
Right.
that's kind of or it goes down.
Well, I think there is some significance in the name, right?
Oh yeah. So, and I wish I could share a picture with you, but
I'll post one when I have the video. I'll have one in the editing.
um, my daughter's name is Mila, and kind of named it after her because she's cute. You like having her around, but every now and then she's a little spicy, right? At that point, it was just kind of a nickname, and then I had to make labels, and I was like, well, what do I want to call it? And I had 5 different names lined up. I was like, these aren't making sense. Maybe I'll just try my sauce for a label.
Right.
And ever since then, it's been off to the races. And I'll get you the picture of her holding the first bottles that I took out and sold to friends. It's really right there for me.
It's the
So
heartstrings.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I mean I it's been fun to watch it grow. Obviously we order it all the time. I have friends that reach out to me. Yeah, just for instance, Jason not only like sells it to friends, I'll buy it from him and then my friends will get it from me. It's kind of like the second and third party we're passing it on for him as well. 'Cause my friend Austin, I think you've sold him quite a few bottles already. He's always
yep,
reaching out to me or my wife and is like, "Hey, Jason's gonna be dropping this off on your desk. Can you get it to me?" So there's always a way to get it somewhere, and yeah, there's always someone traveling somewhere.
yeah. And I'd say the real cool thing about it is, and like I didn't really notice it until I started doing a small business thing, is like the community of people around you changes.
Yeah.
You know, there's there's really good people out there, and you get to witness it in a different way. You know, as a business owner, with like GoFundMe and all those things, like a person needs help for whatever scenario. that's a pretty somber way to get help from the community. There's good
Right.
people, but to do it in a fulfilling way that you're owning a business and you see people that are adamant about something that you started making in your kitchen, it's a pretty interesting feeling. And probably like last month, I kind of finally wrapped my head around it when I was doing like my count, and it's like I probably sold over 5,000 bottles of hot sauce, you
Right.
know, and that's pretty wild. And I was talking to so on New Year's, I was drinking at the shop, had a bunch of people over,
Yeah.
and I ate a big spread of food, right? And I hate having leftovers when I do a thing. So I was outside in my shop, and there was a car. Had no clue who they were. I said, "Hey, you want some food?" And they're like, "Absolutely!" And they come pulling up. It's like 12:30 at night after New Year's.
Right.
Um, Pulls up, and the dude comes in. He's got his wife and his two kids in the back of the car. Comes in. I'm like, "Here, take whatever you want, man. Load up." And he's like, "Well, what do you do in this shop?" And I'm like, I sell hot sauce." And he's like, "I sell salsa." And I'm like, "That's crazy. I had some salsa that was on Pride of Dakota like last week, and it was awesome."
Yeah.
And was it Chef's Jeff's? And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm Chef Jeff." I'm like, "No way. No way." Kind of random guy in the parking lot down the road, like 100 feet from my shop. And
Yeah.
he's, "Yeah, that's me." He's like, "I sold like X amount of jars of salsa this month, and I've been having a really good month." And I don't want to make this sound bad or
Yeah.
like uh, hoity-toity or cocky or anything. It was something along the lines of I sold X amount of bottles or jars, and I was like, "Wow, I just sold 500 last month," and
Yeah.
it was several X factor
Right.
of, and I was like, "This is the community that I started on accident, the fan
Right.
base," and and shout out to Chef Jeff because that sauce is awesome. But they're different things, Like uh, I didn't, I don't like advertise or market in my community really,
Yeah.
but I I'm active in it. I'm
Right.
talking to the people like you post and I comment. I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome. Another this and this, and I'm really active in it, and it's like you see it grow then.
Yep.
And back to what I was saying, like it's a different, really odd, rewarding feeling. And I think any small business owner that kind of starts something that's beginning to take off will probably kind of feel that gravity at one point.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
now, how far can I push this? You know, I don't know because I've sold as many bottles of hot sauce in 4 months as I have fans, almost.
Right.
On the So I'm like, well, does everybody just have one bottle? And I get an order for like one or two. I'll come pick it up, and somebody's like, "Hey, I need 18 of each, and I need it tomorrow because I'm going to Colorado." I'm
Yeah.
like, "You got it. You got anything you want?" It's like, "I'm going to see my girlfriend in Florida. I want to take her and her family a couple of bottles." "You got it. When we
Yep.
meeting up?" And then I got bloop 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 bloop. "You have 6 new members." Next day, "You have 4 new members." Bloop bloop bloop. Got the
Yep.
8 members, 15 members today. I'm like, geez, we're we're touching the taste buds all across America now.
Yeah. I think it was it mustn't have been Halloween because you kind of said you picked back up in November, like full force again.
Is when I got back into production. So pretty much all of 2022, I don't think I did a sale since the Thanksgiving of
Okay.
2021.
Then it must have been New Year's here then or somewhere because we were at a party, or the party was here. I don't remember. We had bought a whole case from you. Case meaning, I don't know. I suppose there was
Well,
16,
I do
12.
cases of
Yeah,
yeah.
so I think it was 12, and obviously we bought it for ourselves, and we were at a party, and by the end of the night, we had 2 bottles left for ourselves. Because we
Yeah,
had it put on on the table to try. I think we had tacos or something. So
yeah. And I've done that to like events that I've catered and stuff. Like I'll make a couple of different sauces, but I'll drop a bottle of MYMY. Hi, baby girl. You want to come say hi to the camera? We're talking about MYMY sauce. Can you come say hello? We'll see. He'll come over.
yeah,
But
no, it's growing fast. And is there any plans to upscale it? What's up, dude?
you say hi?
Hi.
You're on camera.
Yes, you are. YouTube world.
So as far as scaling up, it's time to get back into a commercial kitchen again, and it's time to get into retailers now. And that's kind of a new challenge because I know what my fan base buys, right? But if I take it to a store, how many do they want? You know? So there'll be a little bit of a learning curve behind that, and we'll figure it out. But
Yeah.
within the next couple of months, I got to refinish a couple of things. Excuse me.
Yeah.
This is Myla.
The name.
My hot sauce, right, baby? So the next plans is commercial kitchen, refine label, finalize nutrition label, finalize the bottle design or the style of bottle. Is
Okay.
how hard it is to buy bottles, and after all that gets panned out, we're kind of off to the races. So hopefully in the next, I want to be getting close to ready in like 2 or 3 months, but
Yeah.
when you wait, then who knows?
Awesome. No, it's obviously we're gonna be watching the news. Your whole page will be watching the news. That's gonna be coming in the future, and we all can't wait to see it grow.
Well, I do truly appreciate it, Mitchell. I do
Well,
truly.
thanks for your time, Jason. It was good to hear about the start of the company and why you're here and where it's headed.
Yeah. So self-plug again. That's the MYMY Sauce fan page. If you know me, you know me. If you don't, get on the page, send me a message, and thanks again, Mitchell. I really do appreciate it.
I'll put his link in the description below. So thanks, Jason. You have a good rest of your night.
Excellent. You guys take care. Appreciate it.
Yeah.